Hey guys, I'm super excited for episode number 5 here of Speak Audibly's 100% Me podcast. Today we'll be joined by Antony Chicken. He is our trainer. If you've looked, 100% Me Physically, the book is live on Amazon. Antony is the trainer that we've highlighted, so I'm excited to talk to him. Let's jump right in. Hey guys, welcome to SpeakAudibly.com. My name is Mike B. And I'm here with my son. We're playing at the dog park here. It's amazing. All right, guys. So today I am on with the one and only Antony Chicken. Antony, how are you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. I don't know why. It always makes me laugh when people say Antony Chicken.
Hey.
I just wonder what people think.
Hey, no, dude. I mean, it's an awesome last name. Because that's not exactly who you are at all. That's the exact opposite of who you are. And so I love the irony. But before we jump into it too much, guys, I've known Antony for like 6-7 years now. We met at the church, and he and his family have so much energy. And if you guys have gotten the second book already, even though I haven't pushed it super duper hard, my true fans know Antony is the trainer that is highlighted in the book. So as you guys will hear today, this is why this man is in here. This is why he's in that book. This is why I went to him. He's helped me personally. He's helping lives. And Antony, man, I just want to, so before we even jump in, thank you so much for what you've done for me, for my family, through my health personally, because I couldn't do it without you, man. It's been a great journey, man. So thank you.
Oh, man. Thanks for the pleasure to help you. It was awesome. Awesome to serve you that way.
Thank you, family. Thank you. So before we get started, man, tell everybody just who you are, about yourself, about your family, man.
Yeah, so I guess the close friends call me El Pollo Loco, but, that's not who I am for sure. My name's Antony. Last name Chicken that we talked about. It's not a common name from where I come from, and I come from England, so I am the classic American case. I'm an immigrant. I've been here almost 20 years now, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, I landed back right before 9/11, and I never left. So been doing that, I've done so much stuff while I've been here, man, from training to entertainment stuff to, just a lot.
Definitely. And as we see, you have kids.
Yeah, I have kids, a lot of kids, so my oldest is 16. So we're kind of, youngest is 10 now. So we're definitely transitioned. There's no more baby stage, no more young stage. We're in that launch phase. It's crazy.
Wow, man.
I never thought I'd be 39 launching out, some kids in the next 5 years. So
that's awesome.
Pretty exciting stuff.
That's awesome. So being from England, has the family been?
Yeah, so my mother actually lives with us right now. So that's been nice to kind of help her out because she's been kind of living on her own for a while. So she's experiencing a new adventure, which is cool. Yeah. My brother has been, but he's never visited me.
Okay.
So they've experienced the East Coast. But yeah, we've tried to go over there as much as we can. It's so dang expensive, man. The first time we went, it was like $6,000 in airline tickets.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, but it was a neat trip because, the first time we went, Jonathan, my oldest, was like 6 weeks or something like that. It was really young. So it was great for my grandparents to see. The second trip, which was $6,000, my grandparents got to see all the kids right before my grandfather died. So that was pretty neat. So we've tried to, keep that connection a little bit for the kids.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. So speaking of kids and youth, man, what sparked this interest, this love for fitness in you?
Yeah, it's funny because I've been in a lot of Facebook groups and people have been asking these same questions and trying to get people to figure out like their business and how to kind of go with it. And so it's made me think about it recently before you asked me. And, for me, I was like, oh, well, when I was a kid, I just like sports. And I've just been really thinking more deeper about that, right? Because we tend to not think deep enough about things. We're like, oh, that's a good answer. And we go through it. And I was like, for me, my parents were very up and down growing up. And so for me, it was a way to clear my mind, focus. It's just me, my thoughts. Because where I lived, you're talking 10 minutes on a mountain bike and I'm in farmland, hill country, whatever, think down Navy if you want, that kind of thing where you're just going, man, I feel close to God right now. Like I could touch the sky, but I see all these hills. And that's where it really developed for me. It's like I could push hard. I could sometimes it was getting rid of anger, sometimes just stress. then sometimes it's just like, I just want to make myself better. Like I've ridden the same route 1,000 times. It's like, can I go faster? Can I go
Right.
stronger? Can I, and in that, it's that self-development. So for me, fitness really just started back then as a way to improve myself.
Wow. No, that's awesome. When you say rolling through the mountainside and stuff, I think of either Ed Sheeran, and some of his songs that he sings,
Yeah.
and or
Yeah.
like not to, I'm a man, but P.S. I Love You, that chick flick. I think of that
Yeah. Yeah. It's
like
all good,
like
bro.
all that kind of comes in. But
Yeah.
so one of the things, because before doing this book, I started reaching out to people, and I didn't want to go to my crowd. I didn't want to go to necessarily my friends. I wanted to send out some just surveys, and so I got about 80 something responses to my questions. And one of the responses that I got to why we don't work out, or what keeps us from working out, was actually super intriguing to me. And I wrote about it in the book as one of the excuses: young people saying
Hmm.
that they don't necessarily need to care about fitness right now simply because they're young. So my
Hmm.
question to you is, why would a young person, or why should a young person care about their fitness today?
Oh yeah, that's a good question, and that's kind of interesting too. Like, because when you
Yeah.
move into young adults, older adults, there's a lot of other things that come up. But
Right.
I tell it to my kids this way all the time, because one is like super, like he wants to make the NBA, like he's disciplined in like a traditional kind of sports kid. The other three, on the other hand, they love to be active. And so I describe it to him this way. I was like, guys, you don't have to pick a sport. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to lift a weight. But if you can be active, move your body in ways where you're burning calories, you're getting those hormones going, it's just a good movement, right? Our bodies are designed to move. Our bodies are not
Mm,
designed to sit, play video games all day. Although video games are
sure.
cool,
For sure. Yeah.
that's the dad coming out like,
Yeah, there it is.
um, but we're not meant to sit. When we sit, the new disease, if you ask a lot of doctors, a lot of chiropractors, the new disease or the new cancer is sitting, because it's destroying our spines.
Mm,
And so I just tell it to my kids this way. It's like, just be active. You don't need to be, if you don't like sports, you don't like gym, it's okay. Go for a walk, run with a dog, or do something you enjoy.
that's good.
And so that's kind of what I would say. It's like, don't put it in a box. Just be
Mm,
active with something that you enjoy, or with someone you love dearly, spouse, girlfriend,
yeah.
boyfriend, whatever.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. See, because for me, I'm like you. I grew up, and I mean, I was doing sports all year round. It never
Right.
stopped. But that's what my mom did. That's what my dad did. So when I came across that excuse of I'm young, I don't have to worry about it, it's like I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that feels like.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, you get to 20, like my son, my oldest son, actually is probably a better example. He did swimming for a while. He loved it. And he competed a little bit, but he just enjoyed
Mhm.
perfecting the skill. And then he stopped doing it, started eating Chick-fil-A, that
Right.
beautiful chicken, and then
Oh
just started
yes.
playing video games and not moving. And, you know, he was like, I'll be fine. And now he's like, ooh, my joints, my back, even at 16, which,
Wow.
you think, how could this be? But he's already feeling the effects of not moving. And
Wow.
it's so when he moves now, he'll bounce on the trampoline and do flips, and
Mm,
it's great for the core. But then he'll come back inside and finish off his school, and he's just that much more focused into it.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. So when it comes to working out and it comes to fitness, how much time, you being a fitness trainer, how much time should a person put into fitness every day?
I always say it's as much as you're willing to do.
Sure.
If it's 10 minutes, but you're consistent for 5 days a week, 7 days a week, or even 3 days a week, as long as you're consistent at it,
Mhm.
that's the result you're going to get. But you're going to be long term, because this is a long term thing. A lot of people just do,
Sure.
they go, man, I'm in the gym a month, 2 months, 5 days a week, I lift the weights, and then the rest of the year they don't do anything. So they get a result, but it doesn't affect their life long term. So
Mm,
if it's just 10 minutes walking the dog, man, love your 10 minutes and just be consistent at it. So as long
that's
as you're
awesome.
consistent.
That's awesome. Cause I know, when I was no longer a part of an organized sport or an organized team, like in high school, where the coach is like, yo, after study hall, I have to go do this. Now
Yeah.
as an adult, it's like, it's all up to me. And
Hmm.
that was one of my things. That was one of the excuses that, of course, I did hear that, I don't have time. I don't have time. I'm like, dude, I don't either. But when I came across, or actually when I posted that Facebook video, and you
Mm.
responded to it, you basically broke through a wall in my own mind, a ceiling in my own mind that was saying, what, I have to either go all in or I can't do it. And you're like, no, you can do it in these smaller segments, but do it consistently, being active. And that was beautiful because my wife, she's seen the results, you know, almost immediately, like, dude, something's changed about you. And I like
Yeah.
it. I like it,
Yeah.
you know. So speaking of, how has fitness brought your family closer together, my brother?
Oh yeah, you know, it's been interesting. When me and my wife first got together, you know, we were, I don't know what, 20, 19, 20, man. We're like, yeah, we'll just eat pizza every day, but we'll go to the gym. And so my wife was in basketball in high school, but she's not like your typical athlete. Like she enjoyed it, and so it was a bit to kind of connect and bond over that through the dating and getting initially married. But then once we had kids, actually, we did didn't do it together. Like I
Right.
kept going because it's just so ingrained in me. And then now, as we've kind of full circle again, we're back to working out together. So there's like a friendship piece. You know, it's like you get to
Yeah.
spend like that 1 hour or 45 minutes just doing something together and hanging out. And honestly, being older, we've loved it. Like it's just
Wow.
like, whoa, we just get to hang out and just talk about stuff and push each other a little bit. And you know, I might push her a
Yeah.
little too far, and she's like, I don't want to do that. You know, she's like, I'm a little bitty woman, leave me alone. You know, whatever. But you know, she'll be in my face, and it's just you know cheering me on and stuff. So that friendship piece has been great for us.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I've been seeing the videos you guys been posting. I'm like, man, look at their smiles together. Like you guys look like you actually like each other. Like you have, you know, you're quarantined and you still can. I could be with her all day long. That's what it looks like, and that's just
Yeah,
it's an amazing thing to witness and to see, brother.
that's awesome.
Speaking speaking of this whole quarantine thing, coronavirus, how has the virus, if the virus has, how has it impacted your business and the fitness industry as a whole right now?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You know, thankfully, anything that was in person for me, I've been able to show them, hey, look, we were only meeting not once a week, so hey, it's just a small jump to basically be fully virtual, and we'll do Zoom, we'll do um, speaking on the phone, text me, you know, all those things we're already doing. We're just going to do them in more detail. So that's been really great that I've been able to transition that on. And actually, that's been better for my business because now it's what's the word, a monthly reoccurring income versus trying to be like sell blocks and packages like a lot
That's
of
good.
in-person trainers on the gym floor have done. That's actually been better for me. So I'm totally digging that. So that's good. The industry as a whole, I don't, depends who you talk to, man, because even
Yeah.
the people I aspire to look to, man, they're crushing it with some high ticket coaching, even though, you know, the world economy of the news is lost its
Exactly.
love and mind, you know.
Mhm.
So it just depends who you talk to. There's a lot of people, I think, they were not ready for a pivot. I don't know,
For
you know, I think
sure.
we talked about this before in other conversations. Like, so it's caught them by surprise and they're struggling for sure. I
For
think
sure.
people that realize, hey, we were already going virtual anyway, because the industry was moving this way.
Right.
It's just now this virus, this thing has basically said, you've got no choice. And so
Wow.
that's the way it is.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I see. And that's why I wanted to ask you, someone who's in the industry, because I feel like I've seen both sides of that where some people are like, oh my goodness, like I'm canceling my membership. I'm done. I got to sit at home. And I'm like, well, where's the pivot? Where's the pivot?
Yeah.
So, what are the essentials of a home gym being at home here? Because that's exactly
Yeah.
it. So, when people are like, I have to cancel my membership, but then they get home and they feel like they have to sit and they can't do anything else. What is the
Mm.
essentials of a home gym?
It's a good question because like Rogue Fitness is sold out of everything right now. So somebody's
Wow.
building gyms somewhere, which is just
So,
blows my mind. But I think, yeah, essentials, you know, it depends who you ask, even the different, like what it is you like. You might be more of a CrossFitter or you might be a runner. You know, there's all these different sort of specialties that you like. So depending on that's a little bit different, but I think, you know, you've always got your body, so you can do push-ups. If you have a tree or a pull-up bar, you can do pull-ups. You can do
Mhm.
handstand. That's a bit more technical, but you get the idea. You can use your body. Then you can maybe say, if you got a pair of dumbbells, you can swing them, you can lift them, um, and then you could use a sandbag. I mean, you know, you can make your own basically. If you get a
Yeah.
bag, fill it with some sand from Home Depot. Now you can throw something. You can do
Wow.
like Olympic lifting movements.
Wow.
Obviously, highly technical, but you see how it kind of builds. So you want to start with the body and do everything you can do with the body first, and then if you need to spend money, you know, because you want to, then you can kind of go from there. Because otherwise, it's kind of the same thing with it's just chunking it down. I think if you chunk it that way, you're not going out spending $5,000 on the gym. But you
Wow.
know, people that do that are doing it because they want to.
Yeah.
which I'm not hating on it. I wish I had 5,000 I could just drop right now, but
Right.
you know, so I'm going to be building my home gym slowly now for sure. Because if this ever happens again, I don't want to not have it.
Yeah.
But I think people that don't have it, you start with the body weight stuff, and you can slow the tempo. So slow movements, you can do fast movements, shorten the rest. There's a lot of variables. You can do volume, meaning like, maybe you're going to go for 150 burpees in one day, or
Yeah.
maybe in 10 minutes, something crazy if you like that stuff,
Yeah.
but it's so many little things you can tweak along the way, and you can absolutely get results.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And just so you guys know, I'm going to link everything in the show notes. So if you had any questions for Antony, like, yo, this is kind of the equipment that I have. What can I do? What kind of a system can I put together? Antony did that for me. And that's why he is my trainer. That's why he will forever be my trainer. I'm gonna go to him for any questions, for anything that I need. And that's why he's in the book ultimately, because he's the man, he's the guy for that. So when it comes to one of the things that we hit really hard in the book was rest. I want to hear your thoughts on that for a second, because I feel like when it comes to resting, people have it in their minds that sitting down and watching TV or playing the video game, or those things are rest. And
Mm.
I personally have an opinion on that, but I want to hear yours when it comes to rest.
Yeah, I think so. As much as getting all the other things technically done, and your volume and really pushing your body, to me, rest is equal to that. So it doesn't mean you do one day rest and do nothing the next
Right.
day, but just the equal in importance. Because so for example, physical rest in your sleep, if you're not getting your 7 to 9 hours of sleep most days, then your body physically won't recover. Your mind, your memory, all those kinds of things will be heavily affected, which then it affects your decision making every day.
Yeah.
But then I think you got to take it from how much stress is in your life, because rest helps you mitigate stress. Stress doesn't let you grow muscle. It doesn't, it really does actually so much damage to your body in general. You want to mitigate that. So mitigating that could be you walking the dog with the family, just enjoying the kids running around in the backyard. You're like me and my wife, we call this marriage therapy of late, but just with the quarantine. But man, just getting out in the yard, plucking weeds. It
Mhm.
sounds so silly in a way, but it's rest, because our minds are quiet. We're taking long, deep breaths, and we're just talking to each other about just stuff, life. And so there's different types of rest. And I think you need to do them all at appropriate times in your week, in your day, in your month. If you don't do any of it, that's when you end up at the end of the month going, man, I don't know what's going on. And you come up against roadblocks.
Right. Wow. No, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
that's so key, because I mean, in the first book, 100% Me Mentally, I mean, that's one of the things that we talk about is how the mind is impacted by so many other things that we do, and how
Mm.
in return the mind then impacts so many things. So yeah, like you said, that stress mitigation is huge. And if that's what rest is to the body, then I'm glad that you were able to speak to that, man. Because I'm like, I have my opinion, but I'm not the trainer. I
Yeah.
know the mind. I'm trying to get used to the whole body thing. And so thank you so much for that. So you've given so many different little tips and hints and tricks, if you will. But if you had three, kind of your core three, your top three things, what are three things that you would say to someone just kind of beginning their fitness journey?
Yeah, that's good, man. I think you just pick something that you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, you're going to do it for a long time. So whether that's
Mm,
walking the dog, and it's always keep going back to the very, very simplest of things and building it. So it could be walking the dog, but if you're already at that stage, you might be like, well, hey, I'm going to do push-ups, body weight exercises, or hey, I'm going to lift a barbell. Wherever you're at, just choose that thing that you enjoy. Um, I think you need to pay attention to your sleep, because I just feel like my profession, yeah, it's working with people's bodies and getting them results, but it's a whole body thing. It connects to everything. So if your physical body's right, your mind's going to be right. But we're not necessarily doing mental training. So your sleep for that is, needs to be there, and then nutrition. Honestly, like, because you can't out train a bad diet. You don't have to nail it 100%. But if you can go, if you're someone that eats a lot of processed food and you can reduce that by half, you're going to see amazing results by adding
wow.
those three things together.
Wow, you can't out train a bad diet. I like that, my brother. That was really
Yeah.
good. That was good. So, being that you are a physical trainer, is there a certain program or service that you offer that you can offer my audience today?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like what we did with you is just that one-on-one. That's typically what I like to do the most of. Um, but I will have soon a group option coming up. Got some things in life just to get moved and finished. But one-on-one is my main thing because I want to get to know you. I want to know your likes, dislikes, because in that way I can help you make that shift, like you talked about. It just hit you in a way where to me I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, hey, if you just chunk it down, you'll be good. And then you ran with that, and that's kind of what I like to do through one-on-one, because you can't really do that through group necessarily. So yeah, one-on-one is the way to go. I mean, it could be just as simple as accountability to, hey, we work out together on Zoom right now, obviously.
Yeah, right,
Or
right.
I just do your programming, and we have a little chat every week. It's almost that simple.
That's
But
awesome.
those are the one-on-one is the biggest option for me,
Okay.
or for you
And
guys.
say someone who's watching this right now or listening to this, because I mean we're all over the place. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud. Of course, we're watching this on YouTube. So we're all over, man. So say someone's listening right now and they say, I need to contact this guy. What is the best, whether it be the fact that we're social media generation or
Yeah.
era right now, or email, phone number? What is the best way to contact you?
Oh, absolutely. So they can contact, my email is Antony@AntonyChicken.com. So it's Antony@AntonyChicken.com. So there's no H in there. Or you can hit me, Anthony James Chicken, on Facebook, same on Instagram, and hit any one of those pages. You can link to me any way you want. So
Perfect. Perfect. And I will again add all that to the show notes for those of you guys who are listening and or watching this right now. And you say, you know what, I got to contact this dude right now. And believe me, I would suggest it. This dude is good. He knows his stuff and he loves people, his heart for people. That's why he's on this show. This is the 100% Me podcast because I'm only bringing people on here who want you to be the best version of yourself. And Antony is one of those guys. So, Antony, before we get off here, man, I have one question that's kind of my surprise question, my little secret question.
I love it.
It goes back to the first Batman, The Dark Knight. It's back in the early 2000s, and at the end, Batman is just running, right? He looks like he's been kind of framed for killing someone, and he kind of took the heat, like I'll take the heat for this, So he's running from the cops, and they kind of just black out on that. He goes dark. If that were you, if say right now today you're like, man, I got to go dark, I got to hop off the grid, but I have one last word of encouragement for you. What would that word of encouragement be to this audience?
Ooh, nice, man. That's a good question, because I'm all like remembering the movie. I'm like, oh.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I think, before I would go dark, I'd, I think just stay positive in your mind, get rest, keep moving, and everything will work out.
Mm. Well, you guys heard it here. You seen it here from the man himself, Antony Chicken. Be positive, y'all. Keep moving, stay active, and get you some rest. Antony, thank you so much for what you do, brother. Again, for your heart for people and how you help and how you're literally changing the trajectory of lives. You're adding years to people's lives and mobility, might I add. So thank you so much for that, man. And thank you so much for joining the show today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, brother. Y'all have a great day.
See ya.
Peace. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed this episode with Antony Chicken. He is our trainer, like I mentioned. Book number 2 of the 100% Me book series is actually out right now, and Antony is the trainer from that book that we've highlighted. So I hope you guys grabbed some value. I hope everything that he said was able to help you in some way, shape, or form, that you were, whether you're starting on your journey, whether you've already started your journey and you're looking for your next steps. If you have any questions, look in those show notes and reach out to Antony. He's willing to help. He loves people. He has a great heart. Like I said, he's helped me personally in my fitness journey, and I know for a fact that he can help you as well. So, guys, remember, here at Speak Audibly, we truly believe that you have a voice, so let it be heard. Go out and do something great today. Talk to you soon.
Into you put best into an acronym. So it would be B would be balance, E is eat, S